And here we are in the semifinals of the Arizona Modern Series Flagstaff tournament. On your left, we've got Jake playing Mardu, Pyromancer. And on the right, Killian playing blue-green Infect.
Blue-green-white.
Yeah.
Splashing for the new Teferi Time Raveler.
Oh, yeah. One Temple Garden, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's enough.
Going down to one basic forest and playing all 8 fetch lands.
Sure. Both of our players seem to have gone down to 6. Killian opening with a tapped Breeding Pool. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I feel like he's loaded up on 1-drops over there.
Yeah, I definitely would not want to be Infect in this matchup.
Really?
I think that Mardu Pyromancer has every single correct answer to Infect. They have cheap hand hate, they have cheap removal, and that's like that'll do it. You know, that's enough. That's like
turns out just those two things.
Yeah. That is what you need. And I don't have a super good luck, but it looks like we got a ton of pump spells and no threat.
Yeah, hands
from Killian. Yeah.
Upside, this hand is resilient to hate.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because it has
or discard.
Yeah. It has a decent amount of redundancy. Just you've got a couple different types of pump spells.
I guess having no good cards in your hand is
pretty
really
bad.
Good defense against discard, but
right.
It's probably not the right play.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Put a 5?
No. Yeah. Especially with the redraw from the canopy if you need it. You got some time.
Right. Yeah. And just like, one Horizon Canopy is another white source.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fun. Oh,
There's Canopy.
There it is. Ooh, original foil.
You catching this in right away?
No.
No,
I don't think so. It's just because. Well, I mean, stuff like that, but I don't. I mean, like, you could cash in on end step.
Yeah.
Just because you need. But like, say you find a threat. You have no protection spells.
Oh, sure.
You know, so like, why bother?
Yeah.
Like, why bother sacking a land to just get a thing that doesn't find you what you need? But I mean, you also can just go for it. Like,
I actually kind of like sacking it.
Right.
There.
If you just sit here and do nothing, Jake will win.
Yeah.
So
what costs more than 2 in your deck?
Nothing.
Nothing. And so I feel like
literally nothing. Right.
Let's get on.
Yeah. So you know, and I don't know. I think I like that play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because, you know, if you sit there and do nothing, Infect needs a critical mass of things to start doing stuff, and if you just never hit that, you will lose.
Yep. Every turn that passes, this
right.
is getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Jake is just, he's going to have the removal still.
Jake's deck is full of actual cards.
Right.
Like, Killian's got a lot of things that work very nicely. There are pump spells, Distortion Strike.
Right.
Unblockable. So good.
Sure.
But it's really not as good as Thoughtseizure Inquisition or Lightning Bolt. Or,
right, yeah, cards that are just good by themselves, do not require other cards to be powerful. Distortion Strike, pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah.
Pretty bad in the graveyard. But you know, that was the because when you played against a quote unquote real affinity, not Hardened Scales affinity.
Sure.
That was a hard matchup because they just had all kinds of little 1/1s. It's probably an even worse matchup now with Hardened Scales.
Oh yeah, with the Walking Ballista.
Oh god, yeah, Walking Ballista and Hangerback Walker is just insane against you.
Yeah.
Turns out, a bunch of removal spells also insane against Infect.
Who knew?
Hand hate spells, because just like, you know, Jake can just sit on, you know, if he just plays any kind of threat and just chip away at Killian and then just start holding up removal spells. Yeah.
I mean, Jake has been attacking his hand pretty aggressly.
Right.
Killian hasn't drawn anything.
Sure. Yeah.
This has just been very unlucky for him.
He drew a Verdant Catacombs and a Vines of Vast, what do you think?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's not gonna get you there. But, you know, again, multi-5, multi-5 against probably one of your worst matchups.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I think even worse than Jund.
Yes. Jake, again, just not presenting a huge clock.
Right.
That's not something Mardu Pyromancer does, but it has so much disruption.
It has, I don't know, I think it has a certain level of inevitability.
Yeah.
They're just like, if this game goes long, I will win because I have so much more value at everything they do.
All right, so we got Double Vines, Dismember, and Blossoming
Fence.
Yeah, if he draws a creature, that creature's going to be
very well protected.
Yeah. I guess that's just the hard part now is finding the creature.
Right.
Thinning the library out a little bit here.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's small percentages, but it's there.
People say that it's statistically not viable to do this. But I feel like if you have...
So
if you have like 18 out of like 53 lands,
sure,
and then you have 17 out of 52, that's a gain.
Yeah, so it is. I think that the better argument is that it is not appreciably better than 5% of the game lost, which
Okay.
I know is a little bit oversimplifying, but like I think the more precise argument is the library thinning is not as important, or is not as getting you towards winning the game as not losing one life is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because obviously it does change the math. There's
Sure.
there's no denying that it changed the math, but like does it change the math by enough that it always makes it worth it? No. Does it change the math by enough that it most of the time makes it worth it when you're playing against a deck that has a slow start, and you desperately need to find a creature and you need to give yourself every single tiny edge that you can? Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably.
Okay.
And it's just I don't like his odds right now though with just a noble hierarch.
Jake blocking the 1/2 noble with a spirit.
Yeah, I don't quite know what was up there, but maybe just trying to avoid getting blown out by some weird combo of pump spells and become immense or
Don't wanna
something
just
like
die.
that. Right? Yeah.
I mean, he's at 13.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which is decent, but Infect can close that gap very
Yes,
fast.
they can.
Especially if you do something like untap and go Distortion Strike.
Yeah. Well, he's seen 8 points of burn in Killian's hand.
Right.
Or 8 points
yeah,
of 8 points of pump.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just that'll get you there. I have killed a lot of people with noble hierarchs.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm sure.
It's the coolest thing to do in Infect. But just playing a little bit conservatively.
Yep. He's only getting it with 1 spirit a turn.
Right. Yeah. Jake does not want to get blown out by some weird flurry of spells.
Yeah.
Because that's how Infect wins normally.
Yeah.
Let alone when it's a weird and maybe kind of close game like this.
Yep. Jake looks like he has a Terminate in hand, a Smiting Helix, a few other things.
Yeah, but against Infect, you never want to be reliant on your removal spells always getting there. So like, Killian has 3 protection spells in hand right now. Can Jake cast 3 spells in a turn? Maybe. Can he cast the 3 spells in a turn that get there in the right sequence at the right speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, this is that. This is Distortion. Like, Distortion Strike is the kind of thing that he can hit Jake for 2 right here, and then on the next turn be able to Distortion Strike on upkeep off the rebound, and then scale up and then use a pump spell.
Yep.
And that can just be Jake is dead.
With Vines back up.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. Here comes an Unearth Cycle. Another Unearth Cycle. That's a nice
okay.
mode for those.
Yeah.
When they're not good, just get rid of them.
Right.
Get something else.
Yeah. End step. Get rid of the card I don't need.
He drew a 3rd copy
Oh.
while cycling the first 2.
It's a little bit of a bummer.
It is a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, they got cycling.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
get rid
top
of them.
decking Faithless Looting, which is fine. Top decking another Faithless Looting, off of Faithless Looting,
Yep.
and a Smiting Helix.
And a Pyromancer.
Incredible.
Looks like it.
Oh, okay, there we
Yep.
go. I see you had the Smiting Helix in hand already.
Yep.
Looks like discarding a Pyromancer and a Faithless Looting.
Every Pyromancer and Faithless Looting has fire on the left side of the frame.
Yeah, no, it's we've been confused by this before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're
Oh,
thematically
right.
consistent.
Yeah, of course. And Unearth hitting Pyromancer, discard some cards, make some guys.
Yeah.
Wow, not super good against Distortion Strike, but
Yeah, it's super important he doesn't die to this. But
Yeah.
I think that hopefully that Terminate can...
right. Yeah, and I don't know if he has another 1-mana removal spell hiding out in his hand somewhere, because having two pieces of instant speed removal either means Killian has to protect his thing weirdly in a way that he can't maximize the amount of pump spells that he has when he is giving the thing unblockable with Distortion Strike.
Mm-hmm. Jake fetching down to 9. I might be casting a Yawgmoth here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yawgmoth would, I think, close this game out.
He may if he doesn't just die to this Noble. 'Cause
Right,
if
yeah.
Killian can put together the right number of cards, he's
Sure.
just got him.
Yeah. I don't know though. I did not see that card in Jake's hand, and it's because I didn't see it.
Yep.
It's because I was not looking very closely.
Mm-hmm. That'll work.
Yeah.
Gonna take a second to read that. That's a new card.
Right. Oh yeah.
A lot of text on it.
Yeah, it is a wall of text. It has a protection from humans, don't you know? Which, I mean, if it could block that noble hierarch,
Yeah.
But right now it's just going to kill it.
You don't have to pay mana.
No, you don't. You just have to pay a life cycle
Oh
creature.
my god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no! Wow,
Yeah.
that is so much better than I thought it was.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sack
So it looks
that.
like he is. It looks like he was killing the Yawgmoth in response, just so that he couldn't just it would, force an exchange as opposed to
Sure.
just I get to do all my things and yeah, huh. So Jake at 6 life. They're any threat from Killian is live, and Jake is low on resources. And Killian still has a couple protection spells in hand.
Yep. Distortion Strike's going to come off to a very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to hit with the spirit tokens. Because I don't know if Rebound is like a May cast from exile. I'm pretty sure it isn't.
Now it seems like we're backing up just a little bit
Oh, yep.
to figure out what happened in what order.
Oh, well, I mean, that's my head.
Yep.
It's my head right in front of the camera. I should probably stand on the other side for
Fine.
judge calls.
Okay.
Need to get a haircut. Anyway, I'm not sure
Okay.
what is happening here. It looks like this is...
So he probably sacrificed a creature to put a counter on the hierarchy.
Right.
He dismembered.
Mm-hmm.
He responded with another sacrifice. He responded with a Vines of the Vastwood.
Oh, I think they're wondering... I'm not sure.
I mean, it seems like Jake should have sacrificed another creature
Oh, okay.
because the Vines was the last thing on the stack.
I mean, try to kill it, protection spell, kill it. It's 2 things. I think he sacked the Pyro and the Elemental.
Maybe I misunderstood the order
Yeah,
of where things went on. I must have, because the outcome is not nearly what I thought
Sure.
it should have been. So I was obviously incorrect. Nile Spellbomb for Jake, putting him down to 7. Noble Hierarchy.
All right.
Is Killian running any Infect creatures?
Theoretically,
'Cause
yes.
I haven't seen one
Right.
yet.
Yeah.
That is super unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing plenty. He's playing the normal 12.
Yeah.
It just, it is,
Blossoming Defense on the Hierarchy.
yeah. There it is. Yeah, he's really on this Noble Hierarch beatdown plan.
Yep. Cash in that.
Which is great. I love the Noble Hierarch beatdown plan.
Ah, boy, yeah.
It's probably not where you want to be,
No,
but
it's
it's
not.
awesome.
It is pretty cool. Here's another thing to push.
Okay. Well, and another Blossoming
And
Defense.
Blossoming Defense.
Wow.
Man.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes I just have it, and I don't remember what Killian's last card is, because I think we saw about the Vines of Vastwood.
There's a Terminate.
Oh, let's see if that last spell is a protection spell. There it is. All right, Vines of Vastwood.
Okay. So this is the most anemic race I've ever seen in my life, but
Right.
it is going to be 2 spirits versus a noble.
But I don't know the last card in Jake's hand, but there are a lot of circumstances
I think
under
he picked
which.
up a land. Oh,
okay.
here comes the second half of a Lingering Souls.
Oh,
That's very good right now.
looks like Jake might have over-tapped for it. I think he just tapped 3.
Sure.
But,
No, he didn't. He paid 2 for a
no?
Terminate and 2 for
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah, we're good. I just can't count.
Here comes the Hierarch.
Seems important. Double block. And it'll die. Oh, wait, yep, just killing one.
Just in the
Oh,
nick
okay.
of time, the first Infect creature.
Yeah, see, it's weird because at this point you'd just rather see another Noble Hierarch because it is the only creature that reliably can damage something in your deck that doesn't have Infect because you haven't been hitting them with Infect, so why bother?
Yep.
There is a Birds of Paradise in the deck, but
Okay.
not a super reliable attacker. Birds of
No.
Paradise.
Because of the 0 power.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
that'll get you every time.
Not every time, but many times.
Most times.
I've killed someone with Birds of Paradise too. It was awesome. I love Infect so much. I played it for a long time and I miss it. And I'm glad that something like Scale Up got printed because I think Infect is still weak to the same things. It just has a little bit more heft to it. That if people aren't prepared for it, it'll
Yep.
just get them. And we're gonna go to game 2 here.
Multi-format All-Star Smiting Helix, bringing this one home for Jake.
Of course. And we're in game 2. Both players on 7. And it's going to be Killian on the play this game.
Let's see if he picks up an Infect creature before turn 26.
Right, exactly. Turn 1 Glistener Elf. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks
Jake's
like
on 6.
Jake's on 6.
Surreptitious Mulligan.
Yep. And this is the kind of thing that immediately all of your hand hate spells do not affect their game plan as much as they did.
Yep.
Like you still have removal spells, and that's still good. Like Mart is still a favorable matchup, but if they're just able to go dude protect dude, your hand hate spells no longer prevent them from executing their game plan.
Yeah, and so if he opened with an Inquisition or Thoughtseize,
Right.
and Killian just had a redundant pump spell,
Yeah.
you still lose.
Yeah, exactly.
You had the turn 1 interaction,
Yep,
but you still
and
get to
there
die.
is the Inquisition of Kozilek revealing a handful of pump spells.
Yeah, it's a Blighted Agent, Blossoming Defense, and a Rancor, along with a third land.
Right, yeah.
What do you take? I don't know what's in Jake's hand. I guess if you know you have the removal.
Right,
you just
yeah,
do this,
exactly.
or-
If you have removal, you take Blossoming Defense. If you don't have removal, you take Blighted Agent.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think there's a Kolaghan's Command in his hand, which is great, but is a little slow in specifically this scenario.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because just cool, I play a pump spell, I attack you, and then I protect myself for free. Ooh,
There's a Teferi.
Teferi Time Raveler. That
Jake's taking a hard look at that one.
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, he's good. Turns out, it just immediate multi-format all-star.
Yep.
Teferi Time Raveler.
Sorcerer Speed is a real... I have chosen to not play good cards because they were Sorcery Speed.
Oh yeah,
There's
absolutely.
just too much capacity to get blown out if you're playing Sorcery Speed cards.
Yeah, the good thing about Magic is playing it on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
There are very few games that you can do that.
Yeah.
And I think I've said in another video that Teferi Time Raveler means you play Magic and your opponent plays Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And just like the difference between the mechanics that your opponent built their deck to play around, and a mechanic is as simple as the types of cards.
Yeah.
There's just no... there are cards similar to it. They're all named Teferi, but you force your opponent to play a different game.
Yep.
And when you are playing a very narrow game plan, forcing that, like disrupting the fundamentals of their game is huge.
Yep. So Jake going up to 1 Infect, 1 Poison, I think is the technical.
It is, yeah, 1 poison.
Sure. Looks like you picked up a Lingering Souls, which is pretty good right about now. Don't even need it.
Oh yeah, Kolaghan's Command, shock it, discard a card.
There goes a Rancor to the graveyard. That's uncommon. It usually just pops right out of there.
Right, yeah, exactly. Only from the battlefield though, that's
Yeah.
for sure. And it looks like we got a promo Inkmoth Nexus, I think is
That's what it's
that?
looking like, yeah.
Yeah. Inkmoth Nexus. So you were talking a second ago about making everything sorcery speed. Even without Teferi on the battlefield, Inkmoth Nexus is powerful against decks that play good sorceries.
Yes, it is.
Just like the amount of things you don't realize say non-land permanent until they try to hit an Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah.
Like I've had a ton of opponents try to abrupt decay my Inkmoth Nexus.
Sure.
They're like, oh, it's a kill spell. It kills.
CMC 3 list
Right.
can't be countered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And turns out.
Quite different. See if this Ink Moth is going to fire up and come in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nope.
Oh really? Okay,
Looks
was
like
that
I
a
think that's the...
Shaper Sanctuary?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shaper Sanctuary, whenever a creature... Is it +3/+3 or is it draw a card?
No, that's Wild Defiance. It's the draw card one.
Yeah, so
Yep.
whenever your creature you control is targeted by a spell and ability,
And
opponent controls,
opponents, yeah.
you draw a card, which is really, really nice.
Oh yeah.
In these matchups when your opponent's going to be trying to play fair magic.
When they're trying to kill everything.
Yeah.
Like where they have to kill everything or they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just was that an unearth?
I'm not sure. I didn't quite see
Yeah,
it.
I didn't quite catch it.
It's pretty good in this situation.
It looks like Jake's got more plays though, so let's see. I don't know. So my instinct is like, oh, I don't know what gets him out of it, but he's got a spirit token. Like he doesn't care,
Yeah.
Like Killian's got a flyer, and he's got a Teferi, but like, it's a Teferi at 2, so it can't bounce a flyer. Is it maybe?
Flyer just attacked.
Yeah. Is there another Lingering Souls I'm not seeing?
Maybe there's one in the graveyard. He's going to pay in 3 mana for it.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's
I can't
what he
read.
does.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Right.
2 more flying blockers coming in. Teferi
Right.
at 2. Is Teferi textless once he's at 2?
I mean, you can plus him to give your sorceries flash.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's definitely not as powerful.
Yeah.
Like he does draw you cards.
Oh.
Yeah, and this deck I think is only playing the one Pendlehaven, which is definitely the kind of card that you'd like to see something like right now.
Sure.
Because you having to use a pump spell to keep your guy alive when they
Yeah.
block with a 1/1 is not the best position to be in.
Yeah, it's a trade you don't want to have to take.
Right, yeah, that's for sure.
So Jake looks like he's got a Terminate, just a Griffith stuff over here.
Yeah, I mean, instant speed removal is...
Completely sorcerer speed at the moment. But
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Totally is. It's a Fairy Time Rattler. Yep.
It's got the Blossoming Defense. I mean, Jake using I guess he doesn't have the option to use them on Killian's turn.
No.
But getting them out of the way now means that he's not going to get blown out by that pump spell. It doesn't get to add extra Infect on it. It just gets to protect him.
Right.
It's Fairy going down. Let's see what Jake follows. Is that Thoughtseize or is it That's a Seasoned Pyromancer.
Wow. Okay, yeah, Seasoned Pyromancer just drawing into everything. I mean, the whole discard and then draw 2 cards, the fact that it is worded the way that it is worded is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been blown away by that card.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, there's a reason they're back up in price now.
Yeah.
And holding their value pretty well because they hold their value in the game well too. Came out a little mangled, but all right. Yeah, I just like trading pump spells for 1/4 of a Lingering Souls.
Yeah.
Or like part of a Seasoned Pyromancer never feels good.
Sure.
And so Killian just got a pass here.
Yep.
And Jake is shields up for, as long as he wants to be.
Yeah.
There's nothing wacky like a Plague Engineer or anything that Infect would play.
Yeah.
So.
There's a young Pyromancer, which seems almost silly at this point. Do you think we cut young Pyromancers ever?
I don't know. Maybe this is probably not the matchup for cutting those. Like, I don't know what it does against like blue-white control or something.
Sure.
There's no value to blocking or anything, and I don't know if it's a fast enough threat to just kill him. But against a third of Killian's threats just get blocked by elemental tokens.
Yep.
But I don't know. Maybe he took out some number just because it does seem a little.
I just feel like Seasoned Pyromancer are so good. Draws
Yeah,
you cards.
right.
Makes
Yeah,
tokens.
exactly. Yeah, Young Pyro is just a little underpowered, which is not something I ever thought I'd say
I
about
used to
Young
think that card
Pyromancer.
was insane.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a Japanese alt art to Fairy Time Raveler.
Boy, howdy.
Bouncing a spirit token, making it not exist, and then drawing a card.
That's great.
Yeah, it's gonna die right now.
Yeah, no, for
But,
sure.
Yeah. And Killian not so sure about an attack there, because if Jake's got double block removal spell, like Killian has to use the pump spell just to keep his dude alive.
Yep.
And so just cool in response to that, kill it now.
Exile the Seasoned Pyromancer because it just has that text.
Sure,
for
yeah,
some
it gets
reason.
you more elementals.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
And so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 9. So if Killian attacked, he would have been dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
This deck is not fast, but it escalates quickly.
Yeah, forcing someone to leave Glistener Elf on blocking duty is...
that's pretty sad. I think he picked up a Lightning Bolt, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, or who knows, maybe a multi-format all-star smiting Helix will come into play here.
Hey, here's the Lightning Bolt.
All right, yeah, and that will do it for the match.